All right, so Drake puts out Scary Hours 2. Are you a Wu-Tang fan?
Not a huge one.
So, from Wu-Tang Clan Forever, their second group album, there's actually a record on there called Scary Hours. And it's no secret that Drake is obviously a Wu-Tang fan, right? He did the song Wu-Tang Forever. So I'm just pointing that out to say this is no original shit. Like, he's paying homage in one way or another with this Scary Hours collective. So Scary Hours 2 comes out. 3 songs. The first record, What's Next? Wants and Needs featuring, was it Lil Baby? And Lemon Pepper Freestyle featuring Rick Ross.
Yeah.
But the one that really stands out to me is the Lemon Pepper Freestyle. Like, I love the fact that he worked with Rick Ross again. Because in my opinion, I was like, where's Ross? Like, what is Ross doing? Now, here's the thing. You know, like when you listen to rappers, like you have to just assume they're lying. You just have to assume they're lying. But Drake is so rich. He's so effing rich. When you listen to that song, because it's just really a braggadocious record, right?
Hmm.
I just have to assume everything he's saying is true. So I'm there sitting listening to this shit like, you rich motherfucker. Drake still talks ignorant shit, money and all that, but like you can see he's appreciating age more now. And here's what I mean by that. He started talking about his son. Started talking about dropping his son off to school. By the time recess come, I probably just made another M. Then I come back, pick him up again.
Yeah.
And then he's like, parent-teacher meetings. Parents get googly eyes, no matter what their fathers do or their husbands do to provide. And I'm like, that's some real shit. I would not want. So for me, this EP was big W. I didn't really care for the Lil Baby verse that much, but go ahead. I know why it's there. I'm not an idiot, but I didn't really care for it. Go ahead. What were your thoughts?
The track with Drake and Lil Baby, just because of what Charlamagne was saying, you know what I mean? Drake era is over, so let's see what they sound like if they're on the track together. I was really curious to hear that, so I listened to the track. When I heard it, you know, I played it the first time, and you know, I heard Drake come on. He has his little smooth little melody first, and then he goes into his bars, and then Baby came on, and it was like 3 a.m. in the morning. You know, there's no lights on in my room. I'm in my room, and as soon as Baby came on, I'm going in. Like, I'm just like, oh, jeez, the flow is crazy. Mm-hmm. And he actually says shit while he's rapping that fast. It's not like bloobily bloobily bitches, bloobity bloobity, money bet. Like, he's actually saying shit about his life and stuff like that. So I was taking it. I'm just like, wow, this verse goes in. And there was a moment where I said to myself, do I like this verse better than Drake's? And to counter what you say, I liked his verse more than I did Drake's on that song. Remember, I told you he was gonna have a track that responds to this My Era's Over type vibe, and I think that's what What's Next was. Mm-hmm. What's Next was that track to anybody who was saying, "Yo, the Drake era is over." Because if you listen to that song ain't talking about much. He ain't talking about much. He bragging and he boasting.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's what the whole track is about. You know what I mean? I'm swerving around potholes, damaging tires and shit. Yeah. He's spinning in the AMG. I don't know if he held it off this long on purpose, but I feel like the hold off gave him time to respond to a lot of things. And he used these songs, low key, as a way to respond to people before the album dropped instead of just adding songs. That's the vibe that I got.
Did it do what it was supposed to do? What was your favorite record on the actual EP? What was your favorite line? Like, who do you think he was talking to? Did we miss something? We listened to it a couple times, but these niggas talking code. So, did we miss something? What did we miss? Put it in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And I can't wait to review CLB. I'm very, very... I still believe we will get if not a polka song, at least a polka sample.
What?
It sounds like a Florida story, but it's not, I promise. Megan Ann Walthall. So she has been sentenced to 16 years in jail. Why was she sentenced to 16 years in jail? Because She videotaped her boyfriend overdosing on cocaine. That doesn't sound that bad, but it's bad. But while he was ODing, she was taunting him, she was laughing at him, she was sexually abusing him. This man is dying and she's sexually abusing him. And she videotaped this. So she eventually calls cops. About 45 minutes later, cops show up, they raid the house naturally. They take the tape and they see the tape. They bring the tape up. And they're like, this is, yeah, we're charging this person. And her defense was more or less saying, look, the only reason why this is on tape was because she was trying to get him clean. And she wanted to tape it to show it to him later to basically show him how stupid he actually is when he's on drugs. And furthermore, she was on drugs as well. Now, the judge was like, yeah, this is bullshit, and 16 years, there you go. Now that that's out of the way. You know, I gotta tell you, Dre, that argument does not seem that far-fetched. Because I have videotaped my friends drunk out of their mind many times for the sole purpose to play to them when they are sober so they can wise up to what it is they're doing. I mean, it doesn't, I don't know. The only thing, and I think this is the main thing, is how does it take you 45 minutes to call the ambulance when somebody's overdosing?
I'm going to disagree with the main thing there. I think the main thing is there's a huge difference between what somebody looks like when they're overdosing on drugs versus when they're really, 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 really drunk.
That's true.
I think that's the main thing there.
That's true.
Let's not miss that. Let's not miss that.
But if she's high out of her mind, how is it up to her to determine whether or not this person's overdosing or not?
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing that I'm assuming in this case. This is not the first time homeboy has overdosed in her company. Maybe that she didn't mean anything by it. But like you said, it took her 45 minutes to call people after. Was the video 45 minutes long? I doubt that very much. Right. I'm pretty sure it was a short little clip, and then she was chill after. So you know what I mean? I don't know if she was scared to call because he was overdosing and she had drugs in her system and he had drugs in her system. That could also be a factor. It's very obvious when somebody is overdosing on drugs, okay? And they're dying. It's super obvious, okay? Yeah, I don't believe she wanted him dead though. That's the joke.
Okay.
That's the thing. I don't believe that she wanted him dead.
Okay.
But she definitely knew that he was owed. Like, do I gotta?
So this is like. So this is. What gotta do? So this is kind of like. This is kind of like one of those. This is maybe a bad parallel, but this is almost kind of like one of those accidental death cases. You know, didn't mean to do it, but it happened anyways, and you have to get charged for it. You kill someone.
If she was actually guilty, whether there was a tape or not, she would have been charged for his death. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But without that tape, he just overdoses in a hotel that she's at. She doesn't get charged with anything. Mm. What does she get charged with? He OD'd. What we doing drugs? She get charged with possession of drugs, and that's it. That's what I'm saying. The tape is what fucked her up.
And I should be, this is me. This is me. I should be taking my own advice. I'm gonna stop videotaping niggas when they fuck up.
You're the one who started off by saying that, yeah. I love videotaping my friends when they're smashed.
I'm gonna stop videotaping. Get me locked up. Well, viewing public, what are your thoughts here, man? Do you think she's culpable? Right? Like, be honest with yourself. Have you ever done that to try to show your friends, like, hey, man, this is what you look like when you're drunk, or whatever. You need to stop doing this. I cannot be the only one. Let me know. Leave it in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And cocaine is a hell of a drug. Deuces. Were they on cocaine? It could have been on anything.
It could have been anything, man.
Mississippi, middle school teacher instructed her grade 8. I can't. Instructed her grade 8 students to basically pretend that they were slaves. That's right, people. Slaves. So here it is. So one of the two took a little snap, right? So slave letter writing activity.
What the is going on in your state at a school? This is what makes this the dumbest shit of life. You're at a school where you're supposed to learn. How do most people learn in school? Is it not through textbooks? If you want to teach somebody about slavery and black history, I don't even care if you just search black people. Get a textbook and get them to read a book. You don't have to get people to reenact. And second of all, are all of these kids that you're teaching this slavery, are they all black? Because if they're white, and this is what you're doing, ding ding ding, newsflash, you're only helping to instill these thoughts in these kids that didn't even know this existed probably till you brought it up. A lot of them. I don't know what age group this teacher's teaching, but I know these kids cannot be in high school.
8th grade.
Okay. And then my last point, before my last point, the fact that they said there was no malicious intent in this says to me that the purpose of this for them in their mind was education.
Yes.
They wanted to educate these people about these occurrences. Well, I feel like they should have educated themselves, because this method of doing it shows the utmost amount of fucking laziness. This is the easiest way to do this shit. We're just gonna get you guys to do all the work and act and answer some questions, and we don't have to know shit.
This is the worst part. We have Black History Month for a reason, okay? The reason we have Black History Month, it's to celebrate impactful people in our culture, in our history. Also, it is to remind people of what we went through, so it will never happen again. This is why we have it. When you create an assignment like this, tell people about what it was like when you were working. Tell people about what it was like being transported from Africa to America. You are downplaying the real atrocities that our people went through. So if your class has even one white person in it, if your class is full of black people, you are making light of what we actually went through as a people. It was not sweet. I will say this, and this is all I will say. Okay? This is all I will say. During slavery, there was a time, still now to a point, but there was a time when catching alligators and crocodiles, it was just a thing. This is what they did. They liked to hunt for them and eat them. They used black babies as bait. They used black babies as bait. Yes. This is what you're I'm not suggesting you teach that in school, you understand? But what I'm saying is you're really downplaying what we went through as a people. But white people in the classroom, but especially black people, you've already robbed us of our history, our names. We don't know any of that shit. Right? And it's 2021 and you're still trying to do that?
Well, I can tell you how you teach people about slavery in school. You teach them how it started, why it started, the bad things that came from it, and then you tell the kids why it ended. There, I just filled up the itinerary right there. It's very simple.
Well, viewing public, what are your thoughts here? Is this a miss? Did the teacher try to do something positive, but just really, really failed? I'm going to give that teacher the benefit of the doubt in the smallest way. I think the teacher tried, but just totally failed. But yeah, your opinion definitely counts. Let us know what you guys think. 2 Guys Doing a Podcast. Deuces. This is crazy. We all know Michael Brown. Rest in peace to Michael Brown, right? This whole BLM movement started in Ferguson back in 2014, excuse me. And they've raised like $90 million. Right? And apparently Michael Brown Sr., who's still obviously in Ferguson, like they've created their own movement over there where they're trying to help their community. And of all this money that BLM has raised, they haven't seen a dime. And they're like, it was my son's death who kind of sparked this whole movement. And they don't want money for themselves. They're not asking to be taken care of so they can go on vacation. No, they're asking for money to help their own community as well. Last year they claimed 8.4 million, and then about 2 million was spent on the Get Out the Vote campaign. And then basically they didn't disclose how 6.4 M's was actually spent, or what actually happened with that money. Furthermore, a 33-year-old Black Lives Matter activist, Sir Major Page, was arrested in 2020 for allegedly stealing $200,000. Now, does the organization in Ferguson have any claim to this money? What say you?
I feel like 20 million is a lot. I'm not sure what's required down there. I'm sure they feel that sense of entitlement in being the place that kind of sparked the movement. But I will say that they themselves were not the ones who started the movement. Mm-hmm. So you can feel entitled to as much money as you want. You can feel that way, but you're not. And that's the sad part of it. At the end of the day, they're not entitled to any dough. The way that, however, BLM organizes how each chapter gets their money is how that's organized, and I'm pretty sure they have that written down. They've gotten that money. I'm pretty sure they've gotten that, but I feel like 20 million is a lot of money. That's how I feel about this situation specifically. I feel totally different about Black Lives Matter as far as a movement in general.
Jay-Z has a song called Family Feud. One of the lines is, "We all look dumb when the family feuds." Bro, this is making us look stupid. Okay? Black Lives Matter is supposed to be about unity. I got you. You look like me? I got you. It's called Black Lives Matter. You know what I'm saying? So feel how you want to feel about it. Feel entitled to it. Fight for it. Be mad, but keep it private. You understand what I'm saying? Like, don't put this out there like that.
That's a good point.
That's my only thing. Like, this makes us all look dumb. Ferguson, man, I know you guys are hurting over there for sure, but I don't think you have any claim to any of this money at all. Sorry,
I feel bad as well. Like I said, but same. Sorry, guys.
And the approach is just not okay. That's just not how you do it. You know what I mean? That is not how you do it at all. Got us looking crazy out here. But that's our opinion. What are your thoughts? Viewing public, let us know what you think. Do you think that the movements in Ferguson have any right to this money? Should they get some? Let me say it differently. Not rights, but should BLM willingly give them some money? For that, I think they should. I'm not saying they should give them 20 M's, but I definitely think they should give them some money. Also, Trey, what do you think? Should they give them some money?
I mean, if they need extra money, disclose what the money's going to and what it's for. Give me a list of what it costs and all that shit. And then let's operate like a business. Let's operate like business peoples.
Thank you. Also, this $6.4 million. BLM, viewing public. What do you think here? Like, is this okay for them to do or not do? Should they be doing this? Right? We've spoken our piece on that. We want to hear yours. Leave it in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Deuces. It's important that we talk about Takashi 6ix9ine, because I made a claim and I said Takashi 6ix9ine will eventually do gay porn. And he's already hitting on Lil Nas X, according to Lil Nas X. You're not going to see that DM there, but I'll read it to you in a second. And so apparently 6ix9ine was in Lil Nas X's DMs talking about, I'm gonna link you when I come to your city. And then Takashi 6ix9ine naturally responds. Just look at Takashi's face.
Before this shit even start, we're gonna nip this shit in the... This is my gram right here. 6ix9ine, this is my account. Let's go. Hold on. Boom, boom, boom. Look. Stop playing with me, son.
Takashi's basically saying, I didn't DM you. Look at my history of my DMs. There's no content there. But what he fails to realize is there's a big red delete button right at the bottom. So it's very possible that he could have deleted him. Text him and then deleted the message. Now, honestly, Takashi didn't DM Lil Nas X talking about what's poppin'. I'm gonna be in your city soon. I highly doubt he did that. But the only reason why Lil Nas X did that was because Takashi came at him on basically attacking him. Attacking is a strong word, but making fun of him because he's gay. So then Lil Nas X was like, all right, I'm gonna fuck with you then. And it was amazing. Now let me be clear. I don't really care for Lil Nas X at all. I told you my favorite Nas is Illmatic, Stillmatic Nas. But that clip of him showing the DM and then dancing is fucking hilarious. And it's so good because Takashi 6ix9ine is the troll king. So the fact that Lil Nas X was able to actually... Because, again, it's fake. But the fact that Lil Nas X was able to do that and then also make it funny... Jokes. Props to that guy for that one. I loved it, man. But I still believe... When you look at Takashi 6ix9ine's face, you ever see someone or catch someone in the act of doing something that they shouldn't have done, and it's just guilt all over their face? You know the face I'm talking about? Again, I don't think Takashi DM'd him, but there was something on his face like, yo, do these people know? Is there a video out there of me doing some shit that I didn't want people? You don't understand what I'm saying? That was his face. I'm telling you, at some point, the video's coming out. But I will tell you this though, man. 2021 and maybe 2018 to 2021, trolling is where it's at. It's where it's at. You can make great music, and if you've already have an established fan base, you don't need to troll. But if your music is just okay, but if your troll game is better than your music, you'll be aight. Put it that way, right? I would ask you what you think, but I know you don't care.
Nope, not at all.
That's why I bring it up all the time. Viewing public.
Yeah.
Viewing public. Do you think Takashi 6ix9ine and Lil Nas X make a cute couple? What do you think their baby's gonna look like? Do you think they're gonna have Takashi's hair? Is the baby gonna come out with rainbow hair?
So stupid.
Let me know what you guys think. But hey, man, they should capitalize on this and they should do a record. Because some people might be looking at this people are very uber sensitive. Oh, Takashi's being homophobic. Clearly he's just joking. Just relax, laugh it off type of thing. Some people very sensitive. But if Takashi flipped this now and did a record with Lil Nas X, the LGBT community very, very, very supportive of their own. If Takashi wants to go platinum, that's how you do it right there. Especially off the heels of this. You don't need to be in the studio at the same time. Drop a verse, get it mixed, put it out. And then all you gotta do is go to Florida or Texas where they don't give a fuck about COVID or masks. Shoot the video
anybody that's watching this right now, he's keeping this going because he knows that this shit is bothering me right now.
I am.
That's why this is continuing with this shit. This should have ended a long time ago. We all know.
Yo, listen, man. Dre's just mad because he knows that he's not going to be able to show up to cut the umbilical cord. But let me know what you guys think. 2GuysDoingAPodcast. Deuces.
That was good.
All right. The lawyer for the 11 women that are filing charges against T.I. and Tiny, apparently, that lawyer said that T.I. and Tiny's lawyer approached them saying, hey, let's cut a deal. Let's end all this shit. This shit's messy. So I read this shit and I said, damn. there's really nothing going on here.
Because now in the public eye, it makes T.I. and Tiny look like they might be guilty. There's a possibility of guilt now. That's what it instills in the public eye.
But if it never happened, when it actually goes into court, like where it kind of matters, I mean,
Right.
yeah, T.I. and Tiny will more than likely look like monsters for the rest of their lives. But I'm pretty sure they want to spend the rest of their lives not in a prison cell. So in the court where it actually matters, and this is all bullshit, and there's no proof of this, and they can prove, more importantly, they can prove that it was all bullshit, that does not help the case at all. But either way, that's besides the point. The point is when I read this motherfucker, I was like, to your point, I was like, wow, T.I. and Tiny is guilty as shit. Because why would you ask to settle? Like, let's just work it. Like, why would you do that? Then when I read the second paragraph, I'm like, oh, okay, this is getting nasty. Still want to wait, see how it plays out. But yeah, this thing is getting really messy.
They probably weighed out how much it would cost them to go through this full thing, going through a trial and paying lawyers and doing all this stuff, what that bill would cost, and they said it would probably be easier or cheaper for us to settle this now, knowing that we're innocent, but we're gonna spend the money either way.
Yeah.
So I want to help what you were saying earlier, because it could be a possibility that they are still innocent. I'm not trying to sit here and be like they're guilty. That's not what I'm trying to say. All I'm trying to say is the way the lawyer put it out is he did his job. He was supposed to make it look a certain way.
Right.
And he achieved that job of making it look that way. The hardest part is to believe that all 11 are lying. That's the hard part.
Yeah.
It's not the amount of women. You know what I mean? But to believe that all 11 are lying, that part is the toughest part for me. Because 5 or 6 of them could be talking shit and out for money. I could believe that.
It's just, I don't know, man. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that. Let's wait till clearly this thing is developing on a regular basis. So, viewing public, we will keep you updated, and we love your insight, man. Let us know what you think. Do you think this exchange really happened? Do you think T.I.'s legal team really reached out to the accuser's legal team and say, hey, let's cut a deal? Does that make sense? Would you cut a deal? Leave it in the comments, man. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And I keep telling you, man, keep them cameras on all the time. Deuces. Thank you guys so much for watching that video. Don't forget to like and comment. We finally hit our goal of 100 subscribers.
No, we're not done yet, though, Chris, man. We're trying to get to 200 200 okay? So check out these videos over here, and make sure you press this button, man. Thank you for the 100. Let's get to 2.
Deuces.